So I thought I'd do a quick tour of the fish room. All the lighting in here is on the ceiling, so with exception of this tank, so it's really hard to get a good video without a bunch of reflection. So we'll start with the pond. The pond is 900 gallons. It's 10 feet wide, 5 feet deep, or across you could say, and about 3 feet deep. Inside this pond I have, starting in the back there, an iridescent shark. He is somewhere close to 2 feet. I've got a jaguar cichlid. That's the guy there, kind of facing us. He's right around the 16-inch mark, which is pretty big for a jaguar. That's a Jardini arowana. He's the one you saw in another video that jumped out, and I had to revive him. The big guy in the front here is a red-tailed catfish tiger shovelnose hybrid. He's a little over the 2 foot mark now. And somewhere hiding in the back is the giant gourami. He's somewhere around 20 inches now, but he's probably as tall as he is long. The jaguar cichlid I got as a baby. Same thing with the giant gourami. They were only about an inch long when I got them. The iridescent shark, the Jardini, and the red-tailed cat tiger shovelnose hybrid. I got them all at about the same size. They were all right around a foot. I'm going to go ahead and turn the light on. We'll see if we can look at the other tanks. Starting with this 300 gallon. One of the things I like is not an overstocked tank. I like everyone to have plenty of room. I've had many more fish in here, but I've kind of thinned out and just kind of kept the ones that I want to keep long term. This is a vampire tetra. It is the little brother of an armatus. They get right around 18 to 20 inches, whereas armatus can be over 2 feet. That's a ornate bichir. He just hit the 20-inch mark. They can get well over 2 feet, but it takes a long time. This is a chocolate cichlid, a true chocolate cichlid. I got him as an adult, actually from the pet store. You don't see a whole lot of them available, so I scooped him up. And then this is actually one of the fish when I got back into the hobby. I got him at about an inch long, and it's one of the fish that I'll never get rid of. It was kind of what got me back into the big tanks, along with the Fahaka puffer that I'll show in another video. This is a 300-gallon tank, 8 feet long. This is a 240. I kind of use as a grow-out tank. That's a flagtail. I got that one as a baby as well. Probably not even an inch long when I got it. Somewhere in the 10-inch range now. Another giant gourami. That's a red tail. If you watch the other videos, this is the one that got beat up by the puffer. If he turns, you'll see his other side that's still healing up. He got a pretty bad bacterial infection from it. He's starting to scale back over and is looking good. This was a recent rescue. This fish came all the way from Bend. A guy dropped it off at West Coast Rays for me. I went and picked it up. It's a silver arowana, somewhere around the 16-inch mark. These guys get well over 2 feet, so he'll be moving into the pond or into the 500-gallon. This is my quarantine/treatment tank. I just hover it in there. It's not on the same water, but the water around it is heating it. This guy, another victim of the puffer, was bitten his entire tail off. So he's healing up. I don't know if I can get a good video of him or not, but you can see he's missing his entire tail and halfway up. But he's still able to eat and to poop. So believe it or not, this fish will heal up. He's just going to be kind of a special needs fish. As long as he can move around to eat, he should live a long, happy life. This is the 500-gallon. It is 8 feet long, 4 feet deep, and about 30 inches high. I've got a Zaire frontosa which is blind on one side. It used to mess with the vampire tetra quite a bit, and it got bit and lost an eye. And I'm not so sure that it sees out of the other eye too well. This is a Black Widow frontosa. This is another one I bought as a baby. These two have actually tried to breed, but they weren't old enough. And from what I understand, it's very rare for these two frontosa to try to breed. So that's a kind of a goal of mine. I've never tried to breed fish, but if they'll do it, it'd be pretty awesome. Stingray I got from West Coast Stingrays. I told them I didn't care about the quality or anything like that. I just want one that eats well. That's been kind of a burden because this fish will hover over everyone else and steal their food. Luckily, the other fish aren't aggressive. I mean, you can see him right now. He's begging for food, or she, I must say. Giraffe cat, another one I bought as a baby, maybe 2 inches long. These guys get about 3 feet or so. Somewhere around the 16 to 17 inch mark. You can see all this gravel that's been moved. That's from the Stingray and from him. He just kind of filter feeds, roots through the gravel kind of like a pig, and picks up what he can find. This is another grow out fish. He is just about 1 foot long. This is a red-tailed catfish. The big catfish in the pond is half of what this guy is. And I knew that he was a good enough eater that I could put him in with the Stingray, and he was gonna be aggressive enough to eat when he wants. So this is the fish tanks in the fish room. I have a couple others I'll do a separate video on. And then over here, I need to do a little maintenance on his setup here, but this is a Savannah monitor lizard. He's somewhere in the 2 foot range now. He's just a big baby. He'll fall asleep when you hold him. He's shedding right now. He's growing like a weed. So probably tomorrow night he'll get a warm bath, and that kind of helps the process along, makes him a little less grumpy. So here's kind of an overall view of the fish room. That dehumidifier right there heats this entire room. Oh, one more tank. Another grow out tank. I set this up originally because I was going to put a MBU puffer in there, and I had to hold off on that for just a bit. So because that arowana is in there and I don't have lids on the other tanks, I decided to move this guy just so there wasn't a chance of him getting eaten. As soon as I have lids on the tank, I'll move that arowana and I'll move him back in. But this is a Tigrinus catfish. This is what a lot consider a expert level fish to keep. I didn't pull the trigger on it or my Stingray until my water quality was great and constantly great. From what I understand, these guys require really good water as a juvenile and even better as an adult. So this will probably be the most challenging fish I have, but as you can see how beautiful they are, it'll be a big payoff if I can get this guy to the 2 foot mark.